and welcome to Flicks from Picturehouse Cinemas. I'm Flick, and coming up for March, an elaborate and charming reservation at Wes Anderson's Grand Budapest Hotel. Scarlett Johansson mesmerises in Under the Skin. Hard-hitting British prison drama Starred Up. An intricate mosaic of detailed plot twists and revelations in the past. The Muppets tour the globe and get sucked into a world of crime. And finally, Flicks Picks, my roundup of events and screenings across the Picturehouse group. Grand Budapest Hotel is the 8th feature from director-writer Wes Anderson, Royal Tenenbaum's Moonrise Kingdom, and contains all the trademark Anderson cinematic curios. A delightful, wild and wonderful cast, gorgeous and painstaking attention to every detail, a tight, dry, comedic script with heartbreaking undertones, and every frame a cinematic joy to behold. Starring Ralph Fiennes as the manager of the titular hotel, this is ostensibly a comic crime caper set in pre-war 30s Europe, but is also an homage to a world long past, cinematically and culturally speaking, like having someone make you laugh and cry all the way around the Victoria and Albert Museum.
Have you ever been questioned by the authorities?
Yes, on one occasion.
What?
I was arrested and tortured by the rebel militia after the desert uprising.
Right. Well, you know the drill then. Zip it.
Under the Skin is British director Jonathan Glazer's first film in 9 years, and boy has he returned with a vengeance. A nearly wordless science fiction thriller / psychosexual horror based upon Michael Faber's book, it sees Scarlett Johansson play an alien who lures lonely or simply horny men into her van only to devour them. Shot on location in Glasgow and the Scottish Highlands, often undercover, on-screen public reactions to Johansson's beguilingly played alien are often real. Glazer's film is strange, daring and provocative. Equally cheered and booed at the Venice Film Festival, it's bound to leave you mesmerised, repulsed, or both in equal measure. Starred Up is a must-see from Brit director David Mackenzie, Young Adam.
Eric Love, 19. He's starred up, Mum.
This is a stunningly powerful and multi-layered prison drama. Eric O'Connell is a disturbingly violent teenager, starred up to an adult prison as a consequence of his behaviour. In the prison he meets his dad, Mendelssohn, and the reunion is not a happy one. Friend plays a therapist trying to introduce a new form of rehabilitative care in which Eric partakes whilst clashing horrifically with all around him. The film is a commentary on the power of connection and never losing the hope of change and redemption for these troubled young men, whilst honestly and authentically portraying the realities faced by offenders and officials alike.
Starred up means you're a leader.
The Past is from Oscar-winning Iranian director Asghar Farhadi, A Separation, and stars Berenice Bezo, the artist, a mother of 3 who invites her long-time estranged husband to return from Iran to complete their divorce. From the beginning, each scene is loaded with emotion and mystery as to what happened, why, and how every person involved is affected. The reveal is slow as the film unfolds beautifully and authentically, with characters allowed space and time to show and tell their part, including the metaphorically unfinished house. Outstanding performances from all 3 main protagonists make clear one thing: the past simply doesn't go away, so how do we learn to live with it? And finally, Flicks favourites, the Muppets are back in Muppets Most Wanted and are joined by an all-star stellar cast. Hot on the heels of 2011's excellent The Muppets, the gang return with the other Flight of the Conchords star, Jermaine Clement, on board, which is only fair as the director of this and the last movie, James Bobbin, also directed the genius Flight of the Conchords comedy series. You may remember Bret McKenzie won an Oscar for the song Man or Muppet. In this movie, the Muppets' European tour is scuppered by an evil, thieving Kermit-alike, framing the real Kermit for stealing the crown jewels. Much Muppet mayhem ensues.
Muppets Most Wanted.
Not one single person noticed I'd been replaced by an evil criminal mastermind?
It sounds worse than it was.
I am Kermit.
No, that's as bad as it sounds.
And now, Flicks Picks, screenings and events across the Picturehouse group not to be missed. On Saturday the 15th, the New York Met presents Werther. Two of opera's greatest artists, Jonas Kaufmann and Alina Garantia, appear together for the first time at the Met in Jules Massenet's sublime adaptation of Goethe's revolutionary and tragic romance. On Wednesday the 19th, the Royal Ballet presents The Sleeping Beauty. First staged in St. Petersburg in 1890, The Sleeping Beauty is the pinnacle of classical ballet, a perfect marriage of Petipa's choreography and Tchaikovsky's music, and a glorious challenge for every dancer on stage. It is also the Royal Ballet's signature work. On Sunday the 30th, the Bolshoi Ballet presents Marco Spada. Rarely presented and only just added to the Bolshoi repertoire, this swashbuckling ballet was recreated especially for the Bolshoi by French choreographer Pierre Lacotte. Tickets for the 2014 Glyndebourne season will go on sale to Picturehouse and Glyndebourne members on March the 3rd and on general sale on March the 10th. This year's productions are Der Rosenkavalier, Don Giovanni and La Traviata. Our Discover Tuesdays strand brings the best of world cinemas to Picturehouse screens every week. On the 4th of March, The Armstrong Lie. Filmmaker Alex Gibney's original intention was to celebrate the 7-time Tour de France winner Lance Armstrong's return to international competition in 2009 after beating cancer, but when realising that his subject had lied to his face about drug use allegations, the film changed entirely. A nosedive from grace, as compelling as it is colourfully told. On the 11th, Stranger by the Lake saw director Alan Giraudy win Best Director in the Uncertain Regards section at Cannes. An atmospheric, tense and sexually explicit naturalist thriller set at a French gay cruising area. Beautifully photographed with edge-of-your-seat Hitchcockian intrigue, this film really is a must-see masterpiece that has achieved universal acclaim and topped critics' polls worldwide. On the 18th, Claire Denis' Bastards tells the story of supertanker captain Marco's return to Paris and the complex web of familial tragedy that awaits him, striking cinematography and an unconventional narrative that harks back to Chinatown and even classic noir in its examination of amorality and corruption. And finally, on the 25th, Wake in Fright is a 1971 Australian thriller that tells the story of a young schoolteacher who descends into personal moral degradation after finding himself stranded in a brutal, menacing town in outback Australia. The film gained a reputation as Australia's great lost film due to its commercial unavailability until 2009 when it was digitally re-released. Now recognised as a seminal film in the Australian New Wave, Nick Cave called it the best and most terrifying film about Australia in existence. That's it for March. Remember to check out times and dates for everything mentioned in this show at our website, picturehouses.co.uk. Follow our myriad of social media platforms to keep in the loop. Our free informative magazine, Picturehouse Recommends, is available at your local venue or to download as an app. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again in April.